Hi, welcome to Leap Taken. This is Mika, and here at Leap Taken, I talk about all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. And today I am coming back to a topic I talked about a little while ago, advanced witchery or advanced witchcraft. That's what I'm calling it. So I am really looking forward to talking about this. I've been wanting to talk about this topic and come back to it. And the only reason why I didn't is because I got distracted with some other topics. Actually, I have a plan. I got a whole planner that I use to organize everything for this channel. So, yeah, there's that. I am growing or attempting to put a little bit more energy into my other channel, which is Leap Taken Vlog. Leap Taken Vlog. Yeah. So I'm growing that channel. That's where you'll see my complete obsession with planners come to life. And basically I wanted to take a visual perception of the Leap Taken blog. I took a hiatus from writing on my blog, and that's leaptaken.wordpress.com, because I felt like there was so much going on. I really couldn't relate to the content that I had planned for that blog. So what I wanted to do was just kind of regroup, take a beat, and what I'm doing now is just putting more energy into the YouTube channel, which is a representation of the blog, if that makes any sense. Either way, the link is in the description if you want to go ahead and subscribe to that channel. Like I said, I'm just starting it. I think I only might have 10, 12, 15 maybe subscribers on there. But anyway, about this channel and what we're going to talk about today, which is advanced witchery. So in a previous video titled Advanced Witchcraft and Other Witchy Topics, I talked about mostly advanced witchcraft and what that means to me. And the way I basically want to explain it, now that I have my notes I'm looking down at, is advanced witchery to me is it differs from basic witchcraft. Now, ultimately, most of the time, most of us just practice basic witchcraft. Please don't get thrown off by the word basic. I know it's used as an insult as of late, but I tell you, I don't mean it that way to minimize or to make it seem like it's less than any other type of magic that you're practicing. That is not where I'm going with this. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay? You got me? Okay. So basic just means, the way I see and the way I've been doing this now for some time, is that you typically have one intentions, maybe two if you're fancy intentions. They usually are related if it's kind of two. Maybe it's to fall in love and get married, to make more money to get out of debt, to heal from, a sickness, and obviously to stay healed from it so you don't want to get sick again from it. That sort of stuff. So it's usually related, but it's ultimately one big intention, right? So that's more of your basic witchcraft. Advanced witchcraft, the way I see it, is following up, creating multiple intentions that don't necessarily mean the same thing, one big thing, other than maybe a life change, but it's ultimately just taking multiple intentions and it doesn't matter which level they are, and if they're like a really big life change or if it's just, a certain outlook or mindset. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. The point is multiple intentions. It involves layers of applying those intentions and aligning with those. Advanced witchcraft is, like I said, more than one intention, and combining magics, and expecting different outcomes. But ultimately, each intention is sort of, it's like a braid. You're braiding in each intention, and they all meld together for a finished product. Hopefully that makes sense. That's how I see it. So, what am I talking about? All right, so I'm just going to walk you through my approach. And this is a tried and true method. I've tried this more than once. My most recent experience and example I'm going to give you is basically how I got to be where I'm at right now, sitting in this bed, in this room, in this house, in this state, Arizona. So here we go. But before I get into all that, the first thing you want to do if you want to get into the practice of practicing advanced witchery, which there is a thing, please don't let anybody tell you that, oh, all magic is magic. There is no such thing. That's a lie. You can always deepen and learn. You can always go to the next level, and you can build on your advanced witchcraft as well. So don't think you've kind of reached the ultimate witchy level and you're done. No, there's always more. There's other paths, other spiritual paths, you can infuse, other people's cultures and things like that into your, I know a black girl saying it. You can infuse other people's cultures into your practice. You get in trouble with cultural appropriation, in my opinion, when you take that and then you start to share it and you want to say, look what I can do. Because in most cases, there's a lot of people who are practicing other cultures' spirituality within their spirituality, and obviously it's other, so it's not their culture, and they're doing just fine. Let's just be honest, people. Let's be honest here. The problem comes in when you attempt to spread this as if it's your culture and your redefinition of it. So I think that's a problem. In the privacy of your home and your own magic, you're gonna do what you want to do. All I can say is, if you are in my opinion, I think most people who are doing that, who are using other people's, other cultures, spirituality, I think that they don't mean harm, and I don't think there's this thing of, well, they need to stay out of it. You do what you want to do. I'm sorry, I'm not going to fight you on that. Do what you want to do. Just don't repackage it and try to sell it to me and it's my culture, because then you will get the side eye. But do your witchcraft in your business and your home. Just be careful once you try to open the doors up and try to share that with other people. That's when you're going to probably get yourself in hot water. But I digress. The first thing that I know I needed to do, and I actually did this, was you can liken it to a rededication ritual or ceremony. Basically, I did a ritual to supercharge myself not recharge, supercharge. I put the intention out. First step was to gain more power. The power to manifest, the power to create, the power to manipulate energy. That's what I put into the universe, and that's what I asked for. I did it on a full moon. This was a very intentional, powerful ritual because I knew I wanted to do more. I didn't want to get to the part that I had been to before during this path of witchcraft, where I was bored with the same spells and everything else. I'm just getting a little comfortable because this is a real conversation we're about to have. So I did this spell. It's not that I don't want to share spells here. I think it's important I give a framework and then you fill in the blanks. So basically it was a full moon, candles were involved, oils were involved, and it involved me being in a place where I had access. I could visually see the moon, and I said some words, and the words were basically, my intention was to draw power. And before I did all this, I communed with my ancestors. I reached out to specific deities or deity to help facilitate this ritual and the thing I was asking. So I did all of that as well. And yes, I believe it worked. So let's just start there. So do some sort of ritual or spell to gain more power. Step one. The next thing is you want to also do spells or some form of ritual to increase intuition, and I would suggest you take some opportunities you can to do some sort of divination. I'm a tarot person. I like to read cards, oracle cards, whatever you want to do. If you want to do the water divination, you can do that. runes, which I kind of gave up on. I started and gave up on. It just, I don't know, it just didn't want to register. I love my cards. So, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So, yeah, choose whatever divination you're feeling called to do, but just do it often. Now, this period of time from doing the power ritual to the intuitive ritual and then putting it in practice is going to be up to you. You make that decision. If you feel like you are, you know, a super witch and you're powered up and everything is aligned in you, go. And then don't. But if you feel like you're not sure, continue to hone your skills. And the reason I'm focusing on intuition is because that's going to come in handy. You have to discern. You got to know how to discern. That's part of advanced witchery. Anywho, go ahead. That's step one. Boost your witchy powers up. Boost your intuition, because you're going to be relying on that to guide you through all the next things that you're going to be doing. And the next part is really a two-step process. The next step is basically believe in your power. Believe you've been supercharged. You're a supercharged witch now. No, believe it. You're magical. You can wield magic. You can do what you think whatever it is that you want to do or need to do. You have the power to make it happen. You have to believe it. Even when others, maybe on a YouTube video, are telling you that you don't have that power, or you're not that, you know, nobody can do this. Nobody can change that. If that could be changed, then the world would be this way. You might watch that, you come across that information, you read it somewhere, whatever. Guess what? You still like, yeah, I could. It's not about you trying to prove to anybody. You don't go down in no comments writing stuff telling people what you can and can't do. You don't go doing spells or any sort of workings just to show off, because that's not what I'm talking about. But innately, you know, you are that powerful to make that change. Maybe it won't be right now. Maybe that spell or, you know, ritual or whatever working that you do doesn't take effect in a visible way where everyone sees it, but you see it and you see the real outcome of it. More importantly, you see the reality of it on the back end. But that's on that. But belief is powerful. Believe that you can manipulate energy. Fully believe it. Why is this advanced witchcraft? You're thinking, oh, well, isn't this just witchcraft in general? Yes and no. There are people who come into this and who might have, I'm not talking about people who are newbies. I mean, I personally know people who've been kind of dabbling or practicing for years, and they still have a lot of doubts. Not every spell, not every working, not every ritual, but it is half and half, you know, where they're kind of doubtful. It's not about being surprised that it worked. They're not just surprised. They didn't think it really was going to work, whatever the thing is that they did. So you need to be out of this mindset. You need to be 100% sure that you purchasing these supplies, you taking the time to do, you know, this energy work, that it means something and it will result in what you're intending. You need to believe that. Like, there's, you know, what do you mean? There's nothing else. That's why you don't talk about this with anybody. You talk to your book of shadows, your grimoire, your journal, your notebook. You don't talk to anybody else about this unless they are totally like-minded on this same approach. If they are, then great. You found somebody you can talk to. But if they are not, don't go talking to your good girlfriend, but she's not practicing, because that's not helpful to you. It takes away that energy, the doubtfulness that she might exude will spread onto you. Be careful. So belief, again, belief. I can't state that enough. Also, that you believe that you can have multiple intentions at the same time put into the universe that are all equally powerful, and they will all equally come true into your reality at the same time, if that's what you're intending. All right, so now for the example. So May of this year made a year that we lived here in Arizona. So how I got to Arizona, I think I've talked about this before a little bit, but I'm going to put it into this video to kind of give a whole complete picture. The intent, okay, so first, the divination, the intuitive work was necessary for me. So we're going to go back a year before now. So May 2019, like I said, is when we moved here. So go back, I think it was about February, where at the top of the year, I always do intuitive work. I always do a reading because I like to know what's going to happen for the year. That's just what I do. So I did that work. I did my readings. On top of that, I began to have dreams. They all lined up that I would be living, which I could tell you right now, I'm here in Arizona. I had very vivid dreams of moving into a home. The home had certain aspects, and more importantly, there were mountain views. I was in Florida. There are no mountains. Wasn't really sure what that meant. I knew it was warm. I could tell. You know how in dreams I don't know how to explain it. I looked out the window, I knew it was warm, if that makes any sense. And we were assembling. I was being called, and it was just a short dream. I was being called downstairs, at least it seemed like it was a staircase, to go help, to make sure that something was being assembled correctly, a piece of furniture or something, I don't know. But that was the dream. Along with the readings that I had, I was able to conclude, okay, I'll be moving. And then I was able to get a further reading. I did myself, by the readings myself. I was able to get more information where I realized April, I'll be gone by April. Or April will be my last month before I leave, which is exactly what happened. So anyway, moving on. Once I had that intuitive reading, once I had that, and my intuition allowed me to understand that this is real, this is happening, trust it, move forward. I was able to begin to put my intentions out. First thing is, money's got to be right. Housing. I had very definitive ideas about the home that I wanted to live in. I live in that home right now. Of my intentions at that time. Be very 100%, not BSing you, not just, no, I really do. I wanted to live creatively. I wanted to live a lifestyle where I create for a living. Monetary value, the money about that, I knew that that'll come, but I wanted to build a life. My intentions were to build a creative life. Keywords, build a creative life. And then, I wanted to make fulfilling relationships, friendships with people. I wanted to build on that. Or I said build on that. Yeah, I did say that. Build on that. Because I remember the word build was important to me. It's not, I don't want instant friends, because that's not real friends. I'm the type of person, I don't work that way. I like to have real relationships that are based on something other than just, hey, yeah, you want to, I need something more. I'm okay with having fun, but I like to have actual friends, right? People. So those were the multiple intentions. So you get what I'm saying? I'm not just talking about living a creative life. I'm talking about physically having a place to live. I'm talking about physically, people, actual people in my life. It's a lot of different things, all basically happening about the same time. I wanted, within reason, first you got to get there and then you got to meet people, right? But the point is, I wanted all of these things to happen. This is what I put out the energy out for. So what separates this from a basic witchcraft would be, a basic witchcraft might be to maybe dress a candle, put it, make some offerings to, at an altar with the candle and anoint it a certain way. Maybe you sprinkle herbs around it or something like that. And that would be basic witchcraft. You say some words, you raise energy, blah, 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 which is perfect. By the way, this is fine. I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just giving you a difference. That would be one way of trying to achieve all these things. But you would be writing a petition to try to say all these things to whoever you're petitioning to help you. And if you're not petitioning anyone to help you and you're just, using, your third eye to see and put, exude. I'm trying to physically show, that you're releasing this intention into the universe for it to come back to you. It might work, it might not. I think this is why a lot of people don't get results, or, that they want it, because, they have the desires that I had, but the way they're implementing it, I think, is the issue. So here's where it gets more interesting. So how would I implement, what are the action steps in, witchcraft terms and I'm going to do? What are the workings to make this all come together, right? So first, we do another power ritual at a full moon. That's what we did. We being me, Mika. We did this. Okay. We write our intentions on a new moon. See, this isn't something you're doing, quick. Typically, this is not one of those quick things. All the things I'm talking about, I want to build. So you got to lay the foundation. So I wrote my intentions. I have a dedicated space or place that I write in, a book, that I write my intentions in. At the time, it's a specific place I wrote it in. And I had a space to write down when those intentions were made true, or made reality, I should say. They were always true, but when they were made reality. So I, Book of Shadows, grimoire, journal, notebook, whatever you want to use. Add some element to kind of seal the deal. When I say an element, it could be, some people draw a certain symbol. You say a certain phrasing, so mote it be. Excuse me. Maybe there's a certain candle that you have, or you can do all these things at once, by the way, or a candle, maybe a chime candle, one of those the skinny, small ones, that you burn as you write the intentions. And again, you're layering it. So that candle has an intention to grant or send your intentions into the universe. It's kind of like, pressing play on making this thing happen. If that makes any sense. So this is how I think. This is what I do. Then every morning, or anytime you can think of it, you start your day not wanting, but knowing these things are coming, and you put yourself in a mindset of it. So I would just start with positivity. Keep it light with these things, because you're still building. So there's multifaceted things happening. So start your day doing a positivity coffee tea spell. And that's basically you just stirring positivity. Your intention is that as you drink this, you're absorbing pure positivity to carry you throughout your day. Because if your mind is positive, and if your outlook is positive, then you're going to be more receptive to receive these things. You'll be able to do the next things I'm about to talk about. The other thing, when you're doing positivity, workings on your coffee or tea or water, you can also be doing intuitiveness. So you want to build on your intuition. That's going to be important. Build on your intuition, because you want to be receptive to the universe, to know when to act and when not to do something, because you got a lot of things going on at once. At least this is how I did it. The other thing is, these are the more practical approaches. Create a vision board. Yeah, I know that's some law of attraction stuff, that that law of attraction stuff is real close to witchcraft if you practice, right? So go ahead and do your vision boards. I did that. Script often. Dedicate a specific book just for the purposes of writing down your scripting, writing down your visions and how you're going to feel. And for someone like me, I had a lot to go off on. I talk a lot here about, just the material piece, the house, but I also scripted about a lot of the other aspects of, living creatively and, having fulfilling friendships and stuff like that. Oh, my nose is itching, sorry. All right, so I got that going. So I'm scripting often. This is still, I'm still living in the previous state. I was living in Florida. I'm not even here yet, and I'm scripting. I'm seeing it all, which is the next thing, visualization. Visualization, again, do not go in a place of wanting, be your visualization, your vision board, scripting are basically after the fact. You're putting yourself in the future when you've already received it, and you are highly focused on how you feel, the excitement, the sense of satisfaction, the sense of knowing you did this and enjoying, the fruits of your labor and noticing the details about everything. That's what you're focusing on. Yeah, and do this often. See your life, basically. See what you want to see. How do you want it to be? Take the time and build on it. If you can create it in your mind, it can happen, right? And that's kind of the basis of magic, but that's the basis of what I'm doing. But you could see it. And this is what I said, if I could see it, it's real, it can happen. So I was very sure about that. Very sure. The other thing, the type of magics that I combined sex magic. I combined enchanting jewelry and enchanting certain objects, or coding energy to those objects to be used for attracting. For the friends piece, attracting friends and things like that. A charm or something like that to look for when I went to go look for a house, and things like that. Money rituals, money spells. In the midst of all this, a simple money spell was done. Again, all of this was like kind of one big project. Remember all those things I was intending, because I want them all to happen with the new life here in Arizona. I started actually working on creative projects. So I started doing that because I knew that's how I wanted to live. So I started actually doing it in a very mundane sense, which was actually so magical, because anytime you create anything, there's magic, right? You see it in your mind and then you create it, or sometimes you don't even see it. You're just literally allowing it to come through your hands or whatever you're working on. I communed with spirits very often, with the focus on all of those things, all those intentions I wrote down. I communed with them often about it. Not begging, asking, pleading, or coercing or forcing, but more of just communing, making sure we were all on the same page about these things coming into my reality. And I did that quite often. And I wrote all those things down. Continue to use divination to see if anything changed in the process. On all aspects, I would check, I would go in, make sure dates were good, to make sure that everything was, I didn't come from a point of negativity, I was just aligning and making sure. Incorporate certain aspects to unify everything. So basically a theme. Even if it's something just in your head, maybe all these intentions or something like that I put out there, it could just be the title. And or the Arizona lifestyle, or something like that, but also a color, whatever color comes to mind. So I knew I was moving again by this point to Arizona, because the money aspect, the job aspect part came into play. I skipped over that, but that actually was step one. That was spell one that needed to happen. So that happened right off the bat. But anyway, and that allowed everything else to happen. So I got that going. But all I kept thinking was just the landscape. The landscape, the colors of the landscape, the tans, the browns, the blue skies, the purple from the sunset. Those type of colors kind of went through my head a lot whenever I would think about all of this sort of stuff. So that was kind of my unifying theme. But I would suggest something that unifies this, all these intentions in some capacity. So yeah, there's that. And then, so that's basically, and I know it sounds like it's like I'm skipping through. This is over a period of time, months. I said February, we were out by May. The truck was loaded. We were on the road by May to come here from Florida. But we knew for sure everything was done by April. We had the place and everything, we were going by April. And yeah, so I was right. The last month was April. I don't think I had to pay anything for May when we left. I don't remember. But anyway, the point is, yeah, that was it. So it was resolved like that. So I on the back end, you know, I'm living in the house that I wanted to live in. That's fun. That's fun. The living creatively part, I became an official YouTuber once I actually moved to Arizona. And I was already working on Leap Taken blog at the time, but I was doing them both. When I first got, for most of the time since we've been here, I was writing both the blog and, you know, recording videos. I've since created, obviously, Leap Taken Vlog, another channel, and I am writing, so that's another creative endeavor I'm doing as well, outside of writing for the blog. So I'm doing that, and flexing my interior design. I have not gotten to this room. This room is so plain, so that's okay. Eventually I'll be getting some new furniture in here very shortly, but I'm decorating out in the main common areas of the home. And that's a creative flex for me. I love doing that. So, and building a wardrobe because the weather changed here. So expressing myself creatively with clothing and makeup and even nails, you know, that kind of stuff. And making fulfilling friendships. I just had a nice lunch with a friend of mine here, and we talk about real stuff, and I love that. So that's good. I like her a lot, and I have some other friends, people that I'm, you know, and then friendships that I've already had. I don't know, I feel like those are really solid and steady, so I'm getting the best of both worlds. So ultimately, or 100%, everything came through. And I think that's a short period of time, February to technically April, really March, because we knew the job thing happened by March. So, you know, it was a done deal by April. So, yeah, that's my way of doing advanced witchery. That's how I saw it, and that's how I did it. So it's, again, just to repeat, layers, more than one intention, combining magics, and expecting different outcomes. But ultimately, all these things are tied into a theme, an overall theme. And my theme was, you know, lifestyle in Arizona. So there you go. Hopefully this is helpful and a little bit more concise than my other video, where I kind of introduced the topic, but I kind of wanted to zero in a little bit more on how I did it and how I do this. And I'll share more. You know, if you have questions about this, just let me know. And there's all different types of other magics I could have included as well. And I did. But, you know, I just kind of gave you the high level stuff here. But thanks for watching. Please like this video if you've enjoyed the content. And go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. You really should. You know, I got some fun stuff I'm still planning here. And if you have already subscribed, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And check out the other channel. It's still very new and a little, you know, shaky, but I'm building. All right. So thanks again. Bye.